Imagine meeting a genius for the very first time. What would you notice? What judgments would you make? We're diving deep into the exact moments Dr. Watson first lays eyes on Sherlock Holmes, revealing the surprisingly mundane and utterly profound observations that sparked the greatest detective duo in literary history. Get ready to see Holmes through fresh, critical eyes. Watson is not looking for wonder when he meets Holmes. He's a wounded veteran, weary and practical, seeking nothing more than a place to live and a return to stability. The genius he meets is unexpected, and, at first, not even recognizable as genius. Holmes seems peculiar, perhaps even eccentric. He bursts with energy, talks about chemical experiments, and makes sudden, cryptic remarks that leave Watson puzzled. There's no clear sense of greatness yet, only curiosity. And that's what makes the moment so human. Brilliance, when seen up close, rarely announces itself. Conan Doyle captures that truth with subtlety. Through Watson's eyes, we see Holmes as a collection of contradictions, scientific yet emotional, methodical yet impulsive. He knows minute details of obscure topics, but is ignorant of things everyone else takes for granted. Watson doesn't know what to make of this man, who can identify a person's profession by a glance, yet has no idea the Earth revolves around the sun. And yet, beneath that confusion lies fascination. Something about Holmes feels different, charged, alive. This is what makes the opening of A Study in Scarlet so engaging. Before a single mystery is solved, the story is already a study in perception. Watson, careful and skeptical, tries to read Holmes the way Holmes reads the world, by watching, noting, comparing. The reader, in turn, watches Watson. We're drawn into a chain of observation that reflects Doyle's deeper theme. Understanding begins with attention. Holmes may be the detective, but in these early scenes, it is Watson who performs the first act of detection, observing the mystery of genius itself. Holmes remains, for now, an enigma. We never step directly into his mind. We only see his behavior through Watson's measured account. That distance is crucial. It lets us feel the same intrigue Watson feels, the pull of wanting to know more. Long before the first crime appears, Holmes himself is the mystery. His sharp intellect flickers through his actions, but so does something more elusive: solitude. He is a man apart, consumed by his craft, seemingly uninterested in normal life. There's a quiet melancholy in that realization, one that Watson's steady warmth will later soften. In that sense, A Study in Scarlet isn't only the birth of detective fiction, it's the beginning of an unlikely friendship. Two men meet, one restless, one grounded, and together they find balance. Holmes, absorbed in logic, needs Watson's humanity to connect his methods to meaning. Watson, drifting after war, finds in Holmes a reason to be curious again. Their relationship is not built on similarity, but on complementarity. Doyle's genius lies in showing this through tone rather than explanation. The affection and respect between them develop naturally, almost imperceptibly, as they share space and conversation. There's also a kind of quiet irony in how ordinary their first meeting feels. No one around them realizes the significance of what's happening. London moves on, indifferent. Two men agree to split rent, nothing more. But behind that simple act lies something profound, the beginning of a lifelong exchange between two ways of seeing the world. Holmes represents the mind's sharp precision, Watson, the heart's steady observation. Together, they create balance, and through that balance, meaning. Reading this encounter today, after more than a century of adaptations and interpretations, it's easy to forget how fresh it must have felt. We already know Holmes is a genius. We know he'll become a legend. But Doyle asks us to suspend that knowledge and return to the moment of first contact, when all we see is a strange man in a laboratory, testing bloodstains and humming to himself. It's a reminder that greatness is often invisible at the start, that the extraordinary hides inside the ordinary, waiting for someone with patience to notice. The title, A Study in Scarlet, points to the act of tracing patterns through chaos, finding the red thread that runs through confusion. But even before crime enters the story, there's another kind of study taking place. Watson's study of Holmes. He notes, records, analyzes. His fascination isn't scientific, it's human. What kind of person thinks like this? What drives him? What does it mean to live entirely for reason? That curiosity becomes the emotional heart of the novel. And in a subtle way, Watson's perspective teaches us something about how to see. Observation isn't only about collecting facts. It's about openness, empathy, the willingness to watch without judgment. That's what allows Watson to perceive Holmes not as a cold machine of logic, but as a man searching for order in a chaotic world. Through him, we learn that the real art of seeing lies not in deduction, but in understanding. What makes the early chapters of A Study in Scarlet endure isn't suspense or action, but intimacy. The mystery that unfolds later is compelling, yes, but what stays with us is the moment when two strangers meet, and one begins to recognize something extraordinary in the other. It's a scene that captures a universal human experience, the shock of encountering a mind unlike our own, and the quiet realization that it might change us. Perhaps that's why this beginning feels timeless. Holmes and Watson's first meeting reminds us that discovery often begins with curiosity rather than admiration. Genius doesn't arrive as revelation. It unfolds slowly, in conversation, in small acts of attention. Doyle gives us that process in its most natural form. Two men talking, observing, misunderstanding, and finally beginning to see each other clearly. By the time Watson starts to grasp the scope of Holmes's mind, the reader has already undergone the same transformation. We too have learned to look differently, to notice details, to ask questions, to appreciate the quiet power of observation. In that way, Doyle's opening pages aren't just the start of a detective story. They're a lesson in how to see the world with sharper eyes. So when we return to A Study in Scarlet today, it isn't merely nostalgia for the first Holmes story, it's a rediscovery of how genius appears in everyday life. Not through spectacle, but through subtlety. Not in lightning flashes, but in small moments. A strange remark, an unguarded glance, a question that lingers. Doyle shows us that the first meeting between Holmes and Watson is more than a plot device. It's a study in recognition, in the delicate art of seeing what others overlook. And maybe that's the quiet miracle at the heart of it all. Before the deductions, before the fame, before the cases that would define them, there were simply two men. One searching for purpose, the other searching for truth, meeting by chance and changing each other's lives forever. Every story leaves a mark. What did this one leave on you? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Sleuth Pages so we can keep turning the pages together.